So, hello and welcome to today's talk. And this is part of the webinar that I'm doing for my dear senior colleague, Dr. Sanjeev Dore, and also for my friend Genoveva. And my talk for today is about an interesting case. I'm going to share a very interesting case and some ideas about that case, and then so many different ideas about homeopathy. So, I'm excited to share these ideas with all of you. Um, So directly, let's go towards the case. This is a case I'm talking to you about, a case of seronegative spondyloarthropathy, 45-year-old lady. I saw her um, probably in the year 2015, and she had a lot of stiffness, hip stiffness, which is aggravated in the evening. She was also taking steroids, HCQS. Her CRP levels used to go high, and at that time she used to feel that I asked her how did it start, and she used to say everything is due to my husband, and she feels her entire life is because of this struggle that she goes into, where she has to obey her husband all the time. Whatever husband says, she has to do. She cares a lot for her. She did a lot for her, but she felt that she never got her attention. She never got any love. She never got any care. She never got any appreciation. And she tried so much to be in his good books, his family's good books, but she never felt accepted. She never felt this is of any use. He doesn't care. His family doesn't care at all. That is the main feeling that she had. In homeopathy, we go a lot into understanding deeper patterns of a person. And how to find deeper patterns of a person is by understanding different areas. And not just different areas, which is in homeopathy, the case taking, in which there is chief complaint, the state of mind, the stressful situations, the crisis situation, the fears, the dreams, the childhood. So we try to go in all these areas, and we try to go in depth and understand the deepest experience, and then connect these experiences, connect these patterns, and understand the remedy that comes through these patterns. That's what we do in homeopathy. So one of her stressful situation was with her mother-in-law. She felt that she hadn't been treated well. She felt that she did a lot. She used to wash dishes, she used to make morning tea, she used to do everything, but she never felt accepted. And this affected her a lot. And she felt this affection that she wanted, she never got. This affected her. This was her main sensitivity. And what the feeling in that situation, she would say, I'm nothing. I'm like shit. As if I'm like shit. I don't feel good enough. I'm smaller than others, she would say. As if I'm nothing. Kuch nahi hu main. And what does she enjoy doing? She likes going out, kitty parties. Other ladies keep talking about their families, but she doesn't have a good family. So there's a lot of jealousy. And she's very abusive, the way she feels abusive towards her friends. So, how do we analyze this case? One can analyze this case in different ways. But what we have to do, we have to understand the inner pattern. So, what I did, I tried to understand this pattern. What is this pattern where she tries to do for family? What is this? This is please others desire to. This is the main rubric of the case. And if you look closely at this rubric, you will see a lot of remedies belong to the mammal kingdom. That is the lacan, lac equinum, lac lupinum, ambragresia. Yeah, please desire to. This is one of the very important patterns of mammal. And then we took the other rubrics: appreciation desire, attention crave, affection desire. This is also lac caninum, interestingly. And then writing abusive things to friends. Abusiveness is also very important for lac caninum, like a tuberculinum. And this is what I gave her, lac caninum. And with help of lac caninum, her CRP levels beautifully improved within a year. And she did very well for and I didn't see her for a very long time. And then she came back after a few years. She had something else. She required another remedy. But at that point, this remedy helped a lot. So what I often do is I focus at the present state. I focus at the present status and prescribe the remedy based on the present state, and then that's about it. These are the reports. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about lac remedies and typically about lac caninum. What is lac caninum? It is a remedy prepared from milk of the dog, that is a bitch. What is the main genius of lac caninum? The main genius is alternations, inferiority complex, constant feeling of being looked down, antagonism against oneself, and insecurity. So, this is the entire state. Alternation is not only between the sides, left to right, right to left. Remember, Lacan will always have from one side to another side and back to another side. This coming back is very important of Lacanine. If it is only one side to another side, it could be so many remedies. But one side to another side, back to another side, single remedy. Remember always in this lifetime, Lacanine. Antagonism against oneself, where there's a feeling as if they are against their own self. They do things against their own self. It's a very very conflicting state, and insecurity. This remedy was initially prepared by Lipsic, and very beautifully Kent has written. This is a beautiful, beautiful paragraph from Kent. A lot of people who watch my Materia Medica series on Facebook, on Instagram, and on my um, Go webinar platform always told me to talk about lac group of remedies, and I want to do this series on lac. But I wanted to talk to all of you about lac remedies and lac carinum, and I hope you watch this video about lac and you get a very good idea about it. A lot of my videos are there on YouTube. A lot of your questions, you can watch it. You can type down on YouTube and you'll get the videos. So beautifully, Kent has written, all milk should be potentized. They are our most excellent remedies. They are animal products and food of early animal life, and therefore correspond to beginning of our innermost physical nature. If we had full proving of monkeys, cows, mares, humans' milk, they would be of great value. Lacdef has done excellent work. So has this remedy. And I have beautiful cases of Lacdef. I think lac group of remedies, the way I have understood through the rubrics, through the Materia Medica, through the kingdoms, it's just beautiful. And the main thing about me, and some of you might be watching me for the first time, especially a lot of participants here from England and Ireland, is that I learned homeopathy from many, many different homeopaths. So I spent a lot of time with Dr. Sankaran. I spent a lot of time in Kolkata with Dr. Sarkar, Dr. L.M. Khan. I spent a lot of time with the HHF group with Dr. Milind Rao and Dr. Ashok Mohanty. I spent a lot of time with ICR. I also studied Farooq Master with Tulkas, everything. So I kind of understood these techniques and different methods, and then the way I understand is I take all methods and techniques together and then I prescribe, and that's why I know in which cases what to approach and how remedy patterns are need to be understood. And that's why I want to give you these ideas about lac. um, there are many beautiful cures of lacaninum, but beautifully, very very important terminology I want to do. The first line written is, it is a deep and long acting remedy. The provers felt its symptoms for years after the proving was made. This explains you how deep lacaninum is. Very oversensitive state prevails, a general hyperesthesia. So very oversensitive people as well. They are people who can get very hysterical, and they can get all kinds of strange and unbelievable kind of symptoms. Like for example, a woman may lay in bed for days with fingers abducted, would go wild if they are touched very easily. This touch easily is interesting because it's also very similar to lachesis, and that's why lachesis and lacananum are complementary. So interesting, know how remedies are connected to each other. You have to learn this relationship of remedies, okay, from me. This remedy has in it the nature of dog, an animal that has been totally controlled, civilized, so that it has to suppress its basic animal nature and can only express its controlled, civilized side. It is dependent on its master for food, so it is out to please him. Its survival depends upon keeping its master happy by its performance, its affection, etc. It has to perform or it won't be wanted. So it's like a wild animal who's been domesticated. It's like a person who's very wild, but he acts like a servant in front of this master on whom he is dependent. There is a very strong feeling of needing to please in lac caninum, but lac caninum can also be very passionate, very sexual. They're very sexual oriented, can get very aggressive and defensive also. The main theme of lac caninum is dominance. Who's going to be on top? Why the other person is good, why I'm not good? There's a lot of inferiority complex within lac caninum, and there's a feeling as if they are not good enough, and they also feel that everyone around them is an enemy and they are trying to get better than themselves. This is a very important state of lac caninum. There's a lot of feeling of disgust within themselves also, typically. There's a lot of feeling as if people are making fun of them. There's a lot of feeling as if they are not good enough, that they are dark, they are not good looking, they are not sexual. One of the very important things about Lakananam is wandering. They are not fixed people. They are constant. They are not like mineral remedies, you know. They are not silicas. But these Lakananam are very irresolute. They are very easily. If someone says something, they'll agree, or they cannot remain in one place. Their emotions are wandering. Interesting. There's a strong state of conflict and a very very strong inferiority complex in Lakananam. Antagonism with oneself. Success from doubt of about. Constantly they feel within, am I good enough? I feel the other is better. Do I look sexy? Is my body okay? Why is my body not good enough? Anxiety of conscience, very strong in Lakaran also. Constant feeling of being despised, deceived, cheated. I'm nothing. Delusion, she's short. Constant feeling, I'm not good enough. Dirty, this is a very important feeling. मैं बहुत गंदी हूँ. I feel गंदा किया मेरे साथ. I feel I've been treated very dirtily. Insulted feeling. Delusion, looked down upon, as if she's nothing. Looked down, as if going out of his mind. Also like an idol. There's a lot of feeling of insecurity and dependence on someone. Strong feeling of being dominated. Generally, all cases of Lacanine which did well in my treatment had a history of domination, abuse, and sexual assault. Constant feeling, and one of the very important rubric, delusion useless and delusion worthless. Also Lacanine. It's a strong feeling of depression in this remedy. Dreams, there are very often one of the top dreams of Lacanine is dreams of snakes, and especially snakes in and around her. And the main thing is they are not scared of these snakes, but it's just a very strange weird feeling. Often there are imaginations, very very weird imagination Lacanine can have. Cats and mammals, they get to see a lot of dreams of cats, a lot of dreams of animals, dreams of urination, and desire for urination in Lacanine strongly. At a deeper level, Lacananum also have this state of anticipation. Very interesting rubric of Lacananum. Dreams of journey alone, had to walk long distance, arrived at station to see the train start. Very interesting that they have a journey they have to reach, and when they reach, the train went away. This shows an inner pattern of anticipation. But very important, Lacan will be very loyal. For them, love means loyal. For them, life means loyalty. For them, everything is about ethics and loyal to this person. They can do anything for this person whom they feel is their master. Constant feeling, in Lacan, another thing that I've seen is a strong feeling of OCD. I've used Lacan in many cases of OCDs in manias and hormonal problems. In fact, all lac remedies are beautiful remedies for hormonal problems. Strong OCD symptoms, constant desire to wash their hands always, cleanliness mania for Lacanine, constant desire that they are making mistakes in names, typically Lacanine, mistakes in words. They'll often keep something someplace and they'll say, Arey, where did I keep it? So, forgetfulness for where he has put his objects. Psychotic state, they develop also in some kind of state, psychotic state. They don't want to be touched aversion to be also Lacanum also very important for ADHD in children. They persist in nothing. They keep doing, and they feel, what am I doing? So there's a lot of feeling of, oh, what am I doing? They have a total aversion to work, and sometimes they can't do things for a long time. They'll start something and then just leave it. That's also very important for Lacanine. How is the Lacanine child? They often have a strong inferiority complex. They want a lot of protection. And at a deeper level, there's a lot of jealousy in Lacanine. Protection wants constantly of mother. This is also Lacan and Calcarea cow. They can also be very restless. They can scream day and night, constantly screaming. Very sociable type of people. They are very animated people. Their lack remedies will be very animated. They have a maternal instinct inside them. A lot of feeling of jealousy. They can kick badly. They feel everything they say is a lie. There's a lot of fear of men. Slightest provocation can cause a lot of rage and anger within them. So they are very reactive people. Hmm? They are very violent, but they are not that all the time. There can be some situation and then they can just bazooka it off. One of the reactions of Lacan is abusiveness. They can be very, very abusive, very content. They look down upon their own self. They feel they are not good enough. Cursing, 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 abusive. Sometimes they feel they are going crazy, like semisifoga, like syphilina. They also have a strong feeling of humiliation, typically. Hatred. This is all animal qualities that you'll see in Lacan. And they cannot tolerate contradiction. They feel people should listen to them. सुनना ही चाहिए. Rage with cursing. This is also very important. Cursing. Cursing is a very strong element of Lacan. Also, they can be very, very anxious, imaginative, hysterical, fear of disease incurable of pain, fear of disease contagious, fear of death with anxiety. So they have fear of death as well as anxiety also. Constant thoughts of persecution, constant feeling what's happening, constant feeling what's happening, lot of fear within them. So very often they look like stramonium because they want company and they cannot take darkness also. Something about the disease and them, because they are very scared of disease. They feel they have some incurable disease. Hmm? Just like Sabadilla is very important for this. And they constantly see faces in darkness like Karbovich, and they feel some kind of faces, images, very imaginative like can be. They hear voices, and that's why very important for schizophrenia also. One of the main central rubric of Lacanianum also is dependent at mercy of others. Look at how many lac remedies are there in this rubric. Lacanianum, lac equinum, lac falinum, lac lupinum. So interesting, no? They generally have a conflict, they constantly feel, should I do things for myself or should I do things for people who I'm dependent on? There's a constant conflict. They may look like alumina, sometimes confused, but there is a deeper conflict of wanting to do for themselves or for people. Very peculiar vertigo, like an animal has. The peculiar vertigo is when walking, they feel as if they are floating in midair, as if they are not on bed. Delusion as if air hovering in. Absent-minded, posts a letter, goes bring it home in her hand. So they forget what's there in hand, like carbonium self. Very attention seeking. They can sometimes also hit themselves, but they want a lot of affection, a lot of cuddling, a lot of warmth. Very attached people, and very attention seeking also. Please look at me. Yeah. Very, very strong desire to please. They will try to please everyone. Please, please, please do things for people. Why? Because they will get the love. That is Lacanine. He is deep inferiority complex. Thinks himself of little consequence. Generalities, the main symptom is alternating sides. And very important for a lot of weakness and prostration. Cannot even bear things to be touched at. But I want to tell you, I use this a lot in thyroid cases, PCOD cases, endometriosis, and I'm doing a research in PCOD and thyroid where I'm treating many cases and I'm documenting all these reports. So if anyone you of has cases on PCOD, thyroid, or you have it, you can write to me and I will hopefully consult to you. And beautiful results in many PCOD thyroid cases. Lack remedies are required where typically there's a lot of symptoms before menses, mammary swelling before menses, coryza before menses. So magnesium and lecaninum or lag group come very close. Very important for sciatica, right-sided sciatica. Lachesis has all sciatica left-sided except for right side sciatica. So sciatica of caninum and lachesis are similar. Um, Very important for rheumatoid arthritis with shifting pains also. Lot of back pains in this remedy. But top remedy for throat, you know this, top for diphtheria, and stiffness of the neck also, like semisifuga. Cough, typically they feel there's something here in the anterior part of larynx. Tickling in the middle of sternum, typically. Almost every lac remedy will have a headache. Headache may be occipital or frontal, and worse in warm room when AC is not there, and especially working on computer or using eyes for fine work. So migraine would be a very important keynote of lac remedies. Typically lac def. Lac def has headache like bryonia, except for lac def always better by conversation. This is the way I study. I keep comparing groups. I keep comparing kingdoms, miasms. I keep comparing symptoms. This is homeopathy legend. This is what I want you to learn. And wherever you are, connect to me, email me, and I will guide you how to do it. All rheumatic symptoms are better by cold, pulsatile ledum. There's a lot of feeling of they see faces in and around also. A lot of cravings, milk, pepper, mustard aversion, but warm spices. Typically, lac remedies and lac caninum has a lot of sensitivity towards animals, and especially to dogs and cats. And many of them have pets, or they are very sympathetic about how pets are treated. So this is a very important thing. But the main thing is for them, loyalty is everything, and they cannot take disloyalty. So this is a little bit I wanted to talk to you about. There is so much, so much, so much I want to talk to you about more, but I don't know if I have enough time. This is my email ID, gaurang@gmail.com. Please write to me how the talk was, and I have a YouTube channel. It's called as Homeopathic Hub. I have about roughly 300 videos where I have spoken about different remedies, different repertories, kingdoms, miasms. I've spoken about how I treat difficult cases of hormonal cases, cancer cases, pathological cases with homeopathy. I hope you watch them and write to me about how this thing was. I've authored till now about 7 books. 2 of them I've published. There are 2 more books to be published. I've written 1 book on mind rubrics and one on nosodes and sarcodes. So I hope you can read these books. These are available all across the world. You have to write to me, and yeah, stay safe, and keep learning, keep growing, keep going to the next level, and be the best version of yourself.